Shalom and good evening, my brothers and sisters. Coming up here to give you this very important announcement for I have seen on some websites that I go to look for the new moon sighting that it has been sighted even in my area. I have seen the new moon, but I want to give you this important announcement because many is going to think our Father New Year has started and it has not started, my brothers and sisters, and I have the proof and the evidence that's going to back me up. Again, the Father give his witnesses, such as the heaven is his witness, the earth is his witness, the prophets of old are his witness. So we have witnesses to confirm unto us when our Father New Year begins. Even math will confirm this as well. So here you see a picture before you, just let you know this is a very important announcement, especially for those who are my babes who are learning about the calendar. Even though I'm not doing the new moon reporting or the calendar reporting monthly, okay, there are videos on the channel unto my babes that would give you understanding of the Most High calendar. But when you go back in Torah, Moshe, who wrote the 5 books of Torah, he would teach you that our father calendar is made of 3 lights, and those 3 lights are the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. Mazzaroth is a Hebraic word that means the 12-star constellation. Okay, and even Enoch would back me up. Yes, many who say they follow Enoch's writings, with Enoch's writings, the first, second, third writings, especially the first and second writings, will confirm that his calendar, that our Father's calendar, is made up of the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. Even the Gentiles use our Father calendar. What do y'all think? Um, the that magazine called the Almanac comes from. They also look at the heavens to know when to sow, to know when to harvest, or to know when to, where sowing is planting, if you understand what I'm saying. So agriculture is also tied into our Father calendar because when you go back to Genesis, when Adam was created, the male and the female, he created them what to sow the earth. All right. So that's another witness unto you. So let me get right straight into it. For my brothers and sisters who have access to the internet, you will need to go to timeanddate.com. For that website will confirm unto you what I'm sharing to you now. Also on the channel, there was a video I did with the calendar group, and you will find it under that playlist, like the mystery of our Father's calendar. Yes, there are mysteries in our Father's calendar that will help you understand the biblical prophecies. Okay. And in that calendar playlist, all right, we talked about the 358 rule. And the 358 rule is uh, written by the prophet Enoch. Okay. And on that video, if you ever have time to watch it. But if not, read First Enoch writings and you will see that formula in those writings. Okay. Just trying to get my cursor to come down if it will cooperate. There we go. Oh, that's right. I'll probably share some copyright material with y'all. Let me first go here, and I do apologize. So the title of this announcement is Proof of the Prophets of Yah, or Proof of the Prophets of Yahuwah. Yahuwah is our Father in heaven, for his name being I am he that exists, for he is all, and all is in him. Okay. So proof of the prophets of Yahuwah, important important announcement regarding March 11th, 2024 AD new moon sighting. Forgive me, my brothers and sisters, for my tongue. Almost botched up that title. Okay. Now remember, Israelites, the children of Israel, Yahsar'el, we do not follow the ways of the Gentiles. We follow the prophets. For my father have taught me that if you want to know the answer to your question, look at the prophet's writings. Go back. There is an answer for most questions that people have can be found written by his prophets, who are the mouthpiece of Yah. Okay. So in this video, I may be sharing some copyright material with you, and it's for educational purpose only. It is to edify the bride of sorry, y'all, Yahushua HaMashiach. And his name means I am he who saves or delivered, and he is known as the Messiah. And we convert that to English. The definition means the anointed one. Okay. Now going back here in this lesson that I had shared with the calendar group when we was learning about our Father's calendar, you will see on this document, I did a chart to give you an idea where we at with the 358 rule, especially when we are comparing to others who are following our Father's calendar as well. So in this chart, I was able to go back and track quickly because when I got the new moon sightings, I was trying to think, well, what can I put on my hands quickly to get an idea where we are at. Okay. So right here, this is the column that has the records that I was keeping in comparison to Brother Hashur and also in comparison to the Jewish. Okay. So, but when we're going to look at this column here that was pertaining to the records that I was keeping. And according to the last calendar date from the year of 2020 to 2021 AD, that is known as the fifth cycle of the 358 rule. And it was in the first fold, okay? Make sure, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Forgive me, my brothers and sisters. For the year of 2020 to 2021 AD, right here. This was in the first fold, okay? That means in the 19-year period, this is the first time that the moon that she produced an extra month, okay? And according to the 358 rule, it falls in the eighth cycle. The eighth cycle. I'll say this again. For the year of 2020 to 2021 AD, that is the first fold. Okay. First fold means that this is the first time in the 19-year cycle of the moon that she's produced a 13th month. Okay. This is the first time. Now, when you study about the moon's 19-year cycle, you will learn that she does this 7 times. Okay. Remember, 7 represent what? Sanctification and perfection. Okay, when you go back to the beginning, you will also learn that the number 13 should remind you that Jacob, which is known as Yashar'el, had 13 children. For one of his children, for one of his child, I'm sorry, for one of his children was a, I'm sorry, was a female. Okay. So when you count the number of children he had a total of number 13. And to go a little bit deeper with y'all, what's done in heaven is also done in earth. When you understand how Adam, the male and the female, was made in their image, you will learn that we have a father, which is Yahuwah. We have a mother, which is wisdom. Even the Messiah will confirm it. He said, wisdom shall be justified by her children. Even David and Solomon writings will confirm about her as well. And then we have the living word, that holy seed that was planted in Adam. the male and the female when you understand these mysteries, okay? So just like it was done in heaven, we see in the earth we have a male and female that was made in their image. Therefore, when you study about the three lights and what they represent, you will come to learn that the moon is the beauty of heaven or the glory of heaven, and she's known as a she, okay? But the sun is known as a he. Okay. And I believe from my studies, when you read Enoch's writings, you will learn that Mazzaroth is known as a he. And the earth is known as a she. I just want to give that to you because these things symbolize and represent spiritual things to give you deep understanding what the living word is saying unto us and what is teaching unto us. And it would give you understanding, Adam, the male and the female, of your role and why you are created and how you operate in their image. Again, mysteries that I speak unto you. So now that you have that, so according to the calculation in the 358 rule, the next time we are to have a 13th month will fall in the year of 2023 to 2024 AD of the Gentile year or the Roman year. Remember, we're in the fourth beast kingdom, and this kingdom is ruled by Rome. It's the Roman Empire, and the leading nation that is the ruling nation is Edom. Okay. And we have the Gentile nations joining unto Edom as well. And proof of that you can see in history, and you can look at these buildings today, and you can see everybody going back pledging allegiance to Rome when they go and visit the Pope. So you can see all the connection. But as is biblically written, the one of Jacob, the supplanter, the one that will come from his loins to take down the fourth beast kingdom is a descendant of Yaqub, a descendant of Yahsar'el, a descendant of Yahudah, Judah, a descendant of King David, and the one that will sit on the throne of King David is also who has the office of the high priesthood. Okay. Yahusha HaMashiach, he will come and put an end to this fourth beast kingdom and establish his father kingdom upon this earth. Okay. So according from that number, it will fall from the year of 2023 to 2024 AD. This be known as the 8th cycle of the 358 rule. Okay. Make sure I'm looking at this right. Because sometimes, y'all, I be switching my numbers around, but let me make sure. Yes, actually, need to make a correction. This be the third cycle of the 358 rule. The third cycle of the 358 rule. Okay, make sure that you know that. Okay, because if you notice here, when you study about the 358, it starts back over again. So it's like a clock. 358, and then it starts back over again to what? 358. All right. Now this formula is the tiebreaker to help you understand when do Aviv start. Okay, when does it start? It is the tiebreaker. It would not mislead you or misguide you. And here's the proof. Now let us go to timeofday.com. Now, I do base all my times and my dates on Israel because when you study about the Father's calendar, you know everything began or the starting point is at Israel. Okay, Yahsar'el. Okay, like a clock. All right. And one of the things you got to look at when we're dealing with the seasons, okay, we are looking at when do spring begin. And according to Enoch, it starts after the sun enter into the first sign of Mazarah. So spring starts on the day after the sun enter into the first sign of Mazarah, which we know as what? Aries. That's what the Gentiles would call it. So now that we're in the year of 2024, we see that the sun is going to enter into Aries on March the 20th at 5:06 a.m. Israel Standard Time. It's very important that you know that because with the Gentiles, they changed the times that's prophesied by Daniel, which we know is not correct. We know that our Father give us more daylight to do our work in these seasons like spring and summer. And then, it starts to decrease in the fall because we have to prepare for winter. So he give us more light. All right. So when you understand that, you understand that there's no such thing as spring forward, no such thing as changing your clocks. We are supposed to be in line with the heavens, just like the earth is aligned with the heavens. We come from the earth, so therefore we should do the same as the earth. We should be aligned with the heavens. So this is why it's so important to know what is the correct time, because when you're starting to look from when that sunrise in the east on the east point, you need to go out there at the correct time. This stuff that they're doing is incorrect. It won't help you to see or understand the mysteries of Torah, because when you learn that when the sun start to rise, and I'm saying this on the top of my head, but go back and check, it is done in the 6th hour. And the reason why it's done in the 6th hour, y'all, it is to remind us of Adam. Was he not created in the 6th day of creation? And this is why our enemy, Satan, rejoices in the number of 666, because he rejoices at that number because that was the day he brought Adam down. Okay. That was the day he called him to sin. However, our blessed Messiah came in the 6th day in the second week when you learn about these numbers. It's okay. And he redeemed Adam from Sheol, hell, or Abraham's bosom. So the enemy didn't what's the word? Whatever the enemy had planned for our forefather, it did not work. For our Father in heaven sent a deliverer to redeem him and his children that came after him out of Sheol, out of hell, out of Abraham's bosom. Okay? So this is why it's so important to do things correctly in our Father's time, because if you don't, you're not going to stand the prophet's writings. You're not going to stand the prophecies. You're not going to stand these numbers and what they represent and how the enemy perverse what the Father created. Okay? Because there's a thin line between holy and unholy. There's a thin line between clean and unclean, and you got to know the difference. All right. So this is why I say that when you're reading the word of the Most High, you got to come in the mindset of a Hebrew. You can't come in a mindset of an American or a westernizer or a colonizer, because they was not under the correct teachings. You have to come in the mindset of a Hebrew and see the way they saw things, because they had a covenant with our Father. They was married unto him, so they knew about these divine sacred things and what was correct. Okay. So allow the Holy Spirit, which is the spirit of the Messiah, to come into you and to teach you our Father's ways. All right. So that's very important to know. So when the sun entered into Aries, which is the first sign of Mazzaroth, on this day and time at sundown on March the 20th, after sundown, because remember we got to think like Hebrews, that's when spring shall begin. Okay, so spring will begin from the 20th to the 21st, from sundown to sundown. So the next thing you need to look at, because I ought to count in advance, if y'all start Aviv now, this is why it's going to throw off your feast days. For we know that Pentecost, not Pentecost, we know that Passover, which is what Pesach, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread has to start in spring. Okay. That festival from the 14th to the 21st, it has to start in spring. Okay. With Pentecost, I know some of y'all keep it in spring, but according to the Messiah and the other writings that I have read, And because of this historical evidence that the Father had put in my path to confirm that Shavuot, which is Pentecost, starts in summertime, deals with wheat. It relates to number 4. It deals with the harvesting of the saints and the 144 and the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Okay? Mysteries that I speak unto you. But I know some would disagree, but let us keep moving. So when we look at the feast of tabernacles, known as Sukkot, that must start in the fall season without a shadow of doubt. So this is why it's so important to know when do fall start. So when we look at 2024, and this is based on Arad Israel, fall will start the day after when the sun enter into um forgive me y'all, the I want to make sure I say this correctly. When they enter into the seventh sign, and forgive me, y'all, because I have to make sure I do this correct. Yeah, when they enter into the seventh sign, that's when the next day when you have fall season to begin. Forgive me, y'all. So it starts on September the 22nd. This is the heathen date. This is a Roman date. And the sun will enter on that side at 3:43 p.m. in Israel daylight savings time. So daylight savings time means what? Day has spring an hour forward. Okay. See, the correct time should have been 2:43 p.m. Israel standard time, but they doing daylight saving hours, but that's the correct time. However, we are in uh, Rome kingdom, and we are under the heathen's ways. Okay. Again, the prophet Daniel had prophesied this to us, Israelites and Gentiles. So we understand that we are following the heathen's ways when we're dealing with the Roman calendar known as the Gregorian calendar. So when the sun does enter into the seventh sign, this is how we know that fall will start on the next day. So fall will start at sundown on September 22nd to September 23rd. Write that down. Write that down. Because now I'm going to the proof to show you the evidence. What happens if they start now? And this is the problem they're going to run into. Let me show y'all here so y'all can see. Make sure I'm in. Nah, this is not it. So I'm in Israel time, as you see here, and I'm looking at the moon phases for the year of 2024. Okay, and this is a quick way where you can check it. So I'm sorry, I don't went far ahead. So this date right here, we're looking at March 10, 11 a.m. This is giving us the date and time when the moon is dark, where there's no light upon her. And according to the prophet Enoch, when there's no light upon the moon, that is the ending of the month. This is why we have to look for that light in the sky, because our Father in heaven is the Father of light, and he always give us a sign that we can recognize in the heaven or see in the heaven to know when does his month begin and end. Okay, so we know that if most people start the beginning of the year in March, right, this is what's going to happen. March, I'm starting on this line. March 10th is the first moon, right? Then April 8th, second moon. May 8th, third moon. June 6th, fourth moon. July the 6th, fifth moon. August 4th, sixth moon. And September the 3rd, seventh moon. Now, we just said that the seventh month of the sun will start after sundown on September the 22nd, which is the first day of fall. Okay? So their 7th month will start sometime either September the 3rd or to September the 4th, somewhere in that time frame. It can't even be the 5th. So we'll say it started on September the 3rd at sundown. And we know the feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, starts on the 15th day and ends on the 22nd day of the month. So if September the 3rd is the first day, guess what's going to happen? Okay, September the 3rd is the first day. So the 15th day is going to land on September the 17th. That is 5 days before fall season. Now, do you see the importance of doing the 358 rule? The 358 rule will keep Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Unleavened Bread, known as Pesach, in spring. Also, it will keep the Feast of Sukkot in fall. That is the purpose of your 358 rule. So when many people cannot decide because of that 10-day rule, because when you look at March, we see that this month, most of us cited the new moon as well as myself on March the 11th. And we know the holy feast days will start on the 14th and end it on the 21st. So by starting on March the 11th, we will know that the V14 will start on March the 24th. So that's like 4 days after March 20th, right? So that would check out okay for our spring. But as time go on in our Father's calendar, when you align it with the heathen's calendar, you will see that your feast of Sukkot will not begin in fall. It will begin in summertime. Okay? Summertime. So what you're going to find for those who start their month now, for those who start Aviv now on March the 11th and not follow the prophet's writings, Enoch's writings, they're going to get into trouble later on this year. The feast of Sukkot, the feast of Tabernacles will begin in the summertime season and not in the fall season. This is why I'm announcing this unto you now, so you can make a sound decision, a righteous decision, and do not follow the ways of the heathen. Remember, they don't follow Yahuwah's prophets, and especially they don't follow Enoch's writings. Very important. So I hope you understand what I'm saying unto you, my brothers and sisters. If not, seek out Yahuwah. Pray unto him in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, and he will give you the answers to your questions. But I'm letting you know now, if you start Aviv, starting on March the 1st, starting on March the 11th at sundown, your Feast of Tabernacles, your Feast of Sukkot will not begin in fall season. It will begin in summertime, and you will be out of order. You'll be out of alignment with the heavens and the earth. Remember, these biblical holy feast days go in hand with agriculture. Go back to the beginning. See the purpose of Adam. And this is how you know whether you are starting correctly with the heavens and the earth. I have said enough in this video. Continue, my brothers and sisters, to preach the kingdom of heaven, for it's truly at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10 and follow the Lamb example of the water baptism and Holy Spirit baptism. I do have an announcement after this. Hold on. And if you have no one to baptize you, the Father made it easy. For the water is the second witness in the earth, and the heavens and the earth can report unto him of those who have received his salvation, which is Yahusha HaMashiach, and those who have entered into the renewed marriage known as the renewed covenant that our blessed Messiah established for us. And the Father made it easy too with the Holy Spirit baptism. He said, all you have to do is ask in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, his son, and he shall give it unto you, but it's given unto according to your heart, your faith, and your works. Okay? Now for the other thing I need to announce. I have promised y'all that we would be finished on Romans 16, and we will. There's some things I have to work on, and I do apologize for keep you waiting. Oh, and there's another great thing that the Father has shared unto me that I will share unto you after we finish Romans chapter 16. Love you all, and shalom.